Glaybo.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning. Grand Rising.
Wanted to start off today with a nice sermon.
Okay.
We got Pastor John Pierre in the building.
Welcome. We're excited for the congregation to come together this evening to truly worship.
Amen.
In fellowship.
Yes.
In prosperity.
Yes.
But most importantly, in consciousness.
In consciousness, yes. Preach, brother.
We are looking to establish a new identity.
A new identity.
Moving
a bigger
forward.
Identity.
Yes. We're looking to move on purpose.
Purpose.
Not on profit.
Not on profit. Oh, say it one more time.
We're looking to move on purpose, but not on profit.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, as we charter through these treacherous waters, I want us to not have fear, but have faith. I want us to believe, not be deterred.
Oh, God. Believe, not be deterred. Because sometimes I be down, brother.
I be down, brother. Can I get an amen?
Can I get an amen?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
ain't he good?
All the time. All the time. Come on, baby.
Oh man, Grand Rising to all. Shout out to all y'all tapping in. Make sure that as you join, you're liking for the algorithm. We need to boost the algorithm. Make sure that we never forget. I know y'all saw the title with Anthony Fauci. Interesting combos. We got a lot of bouncing back and forth to do. Today, we're going to turn off this music if that's okay with y'all. The sermon is over. Let's see who we got tapping in. We got Critical Thinking in the building.
Yes,
Shout out to
sir.
Critical Thinking. Howdy, howdy. Big Brain in the building. There it goes. There it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Critical. Good morning all from San Diego. Phyllis, bright and early. It's always good to see you, Phyllis. Hope all is well.
Man,
Shout
you
out to
been out there before?
Huh?
You been out to San Diego before?
A long time ago, and I don't remember it. I think I've been out there. Yeah, I hear it's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. I went when I saw Linked Up with Cox. I was out there.
Yeah, it's like that. Is it like OC, like kind of ocean?
Man, absolutely.
See, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's the.
So make sure y'all support the show so we can move out to San Diego. That'll be dope. We learned don't undress in front of the TV.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely don't want to do that. Shout out to Finn in the building. Rise with the new day and claim it. Every sunrise is a chance to step forward, not look back. Is that bad? I can't see the screen.
Not look back.
Not look back. My fault. My fault. I had something covering the screen. And hold on, let me get back to that. So hold on. I feel like the undressing thing. I feel like there was something there that I missed. I feel like I missed. Are we talking about Fauci? You're talking about Fauci. All right. I think you're talking about Fauci. Makes sense. Probably won't be engaging in much of the chat today. Just listening as I'm chopping up a lot of veggies for tomorrow's cooking. It is all good. As long as we know your energy is in the building, we are appreciated.
Man, I just wrapped up my turkey too.
You just what's the status with that?
So I got it in the brine. I just put it in the brine. So I made the brine last night. So I put all the veggies.
What's the brine?
Oh, so the brine is the liquid. I do half parts water, a little bit of brown sugar. You put some peppercorn, some oranges, some limes, some garlic, some apple cider vinegar, some red onion, some jalapeno, and you put that all in the water, and then you bring it up to boil, and then you cut it off and cool it with ice. So now you have like this potent juice of some sort, and then you put the turkey in there, and it stays in there for the whole night, the next 24 hours.
Chef Glay.
Yeah, here you go. Check it out. You see?
Hold on.
I want to show you that joint.
Yeah. Nah, the other can't wait. Nah, you changed the screen. Yeah, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, here it is. It might not zoom in.
Let it get focused. If you keep it there, we can see a little. Oh, I see the lemons and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you put that on boil, and then after that, I'm doing spatchcock this year. So I pulled the backbone out my turkey and smashed it down because I'm gonna smoke my turkey.
So you have to pull the bone out?
Yeah, you know how it has the cavity where you can stick your hand in, but that takes so long to cook.
When the bone.
Well, when you don't open it up like this, when it's like this, it takes forever to cook. Yeah. So I pull that backbone out and split him like this, and then I'm gonna lay him right on top.
You butterfly the joint.
Basically, yeah, butterfly the joint, and then I'm gonna smoke it for like probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it's gonna have that real good smoke and that crust on there, and then smoked out. We lit.
We need some picks, bro. You said you was gonna give us some picks. We're gonna hold you to that.
Yeah. I'm building a little channel on my gram where everything I'm doing
that's dope.
Gets put up there. So
that's dope. All right. Well, we got something to look forward to. Shout out to Unc. Unc said, please remember to like and subscribe. Give the professor one more moment. He's about to pick this morning's lesson. Thank you all. Please be safe. That is a fact. We finna cook.
Everybody have a seat.
Cleaning my greens and not in the bathtub.
Not my bathtub.
You remember when Kamala said that?
Is that what she said? That's from her?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, not the tub. I seen some wild stuff on that.
She said that she cleans hers in the bathtub. Why did my light just go out?
That goes to show you about how who she learned that from.
It's wait, what's that about? I feel like
Somebody.
that was a little shot.
I mean, it could be taken as one for sure.
Oh, all right, we'll leave it there. No need to elaborate.
Somebody definitely showed her that. Oh, shout out to Tube Savage in the building.
Tube, man, I'm glad to see Tube Savage in the building, man.
Let's go, let's go.
I'm glad to see Tube Savage in the building, man. I love my guy, Tube Savage.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
You got Jim B in the building. Morning, all.
Morning,
we got a Blue Lives Matter.
Okay, absolutely.
No, Black Lives Matter. What's wrong with you, Blue? Nah, let me stop. Coming in with the energy strong with the capital letters, Blue Lives Matter. I'm gonna let it be known from the jump. They treating us like some niggas.
Yeah.
I gotta stop saying that. I gotta stop saying that.
That joint remind me of the old Chick-fil-A the little joint back when we was in high school. Give me some Chick-fil-A.
Give me some. The Unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Yeah, that's what that joint remind me
Went
of.
to Levine's the other day. Get some pants for me and I ain't had no money. I was gonna steal them. Better not have no brothers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it. All right, Glenn. We had a few different videos that we were talking about. Should we start it off on a lighter note? What was the video that we were talking about?
Oh yeah, let's start with the humor.
Let's start with the humor. All right, hold on 1 second. For some reason,
let's start out with the humor. Ma in the building. Ma, you in the building?
Bub, where you at? She down in she went to go see her cousins.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know if she in the building right now.
She's asleep.
We'll have to address that after the show. We'll have to address that after the show. All right, so let me pull up this first video. I guess you and I should be very happy with this.
Yeah, I mean, it most definitely had me excited last night.
All right, let's get into it. Is it on the screen for y'all? All right, take a look at this.
Today, when I sign the Crown Act into law, that will be the next step in making good on that promise of bringing about real freedom for all Pennsylvanians.
This public policy campaign is my brainchild in a nationwide effort I have led since 2018. Determining it was necessary to change the law to help redress the long-standing and problematic practice of racial discrimination in the form of hair discrimination, I subsequently developed the national legislative, social impact, and coalition building strategies for this movement because for too long, a myopic notion of professionalism and Eurocentric standards of beauty have perpetuated racial inequity and exclusion. Too many Black children have been suspended and missed what should be valuable instruction time because their hair, worn in ways that are aligned with their racial identity, have been deemed a violation of school rules.
I am a child growing up in the Virgin Islands with natural hair. Natural hair has been braids, twists, locks all my life. That's all I know. As you know, I still have locks. But wearing my natural hair has been all that I know. But as I opened my salon and spoke to different clients that wear braids, that's telling me, Lorraine, I have to take these braids out. I have a job interview. Or Lorraine, I have to cut my locks down because my job says too long. And the recent one was my client who says, Lorraine, they talking about me. I have to do something. I have to cut my locks because of my job. You know, they saying it's unprofessional to have locks. And I'm like, wow.
Look, we know that this is an issue that disproportionately affects Black Pennsylvanians who wear their hair in protective styles like locks and natural braids or twists. And it can manifest itself in a number of different ways. From someone getting fired simply because of how they look, or maybe someone getting passed over for a job because of the way they wear their hair. That's unacceptable. And in a moment, it will be illegal.
Thank you.
Representative Mays, that's for you. Madam Speaker, that is for you. And this is the Crown Law.
Malcolm X warned us about white liberals. We've also been warned about how black women have been used. And I'm going to let you go. Hold on. BK, please, you go first. You go first if that's okay.
All right. This is comical. It's just flat out comical. And the way that they just getting so excited. I don't like that. If a job had a problem with your fucking hair, then don't fucking work there.
If you decide to cut your hair for a job, you don't deserve to have your hair. You're not one of us. We don't want you representing the brand. You feel me? Like, this is insane, bro. The amount of victimhood that factors into this, and you got Josh Shapiro jumping up here as if he's doing, like, if he's saving the community. This goes back to the whole victimhood where you cannot rely on other people to save you. You have to save yourself. And this whole forced acceptance, I don't like forced acceptance. If you go to a job where you're not accepted, then go to another one, like BK said, or maybe it shows that perhaps there's not enough Black-owned businesses to where that hair would be accepted. So why don't you own your own business? Why don't you go through whatever it takes, the blood, sweat, and tears to open your own business, take a risk, stop relying on somebody else to pay you a 9-to-5 because you're too lazy to start your own, because every single other culture has done the same. When their group is not accepted, they start their own business. Their group typically starts off being the ones that support that business. Black people can do the same. Anybody else can do the same. And in this day and age where people are literally putting Black-owned business or women-owned business, like now, if you can't have a successful business now, then perhaps you just don't deserve to have a business. Perhaps you do need to cut your hair and adjust to somebody else's standards, because that to me is the main issue here. It's like you're trying to force acceptance across the board, and I just don't like it, bro. I don't like it. It's the same thing with all this forced DEI, the forced women, the forced all this. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't help anything. Josh, go ahead.
His name is Josh Shapiro. Any relation
to Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
I mean, they might as well. Nah, let me stop. No. I don't think so. Matter of fact, look it up real quick. I don't think so.
The principles definitely don't align.
I don't think so. But when you I'm sitting here. I've had certain times where I remember when I was interviewing for a job, and they took long to get back to me. My mentor at the time was like, "I think it's your hair." It had absolutely nothing to do with my hair. We waited the next day. They reached out, and I mean, I don't know if it was my hair, but the next day they reached out and said, "Come interview," and they gave me the job. And it's just like it's just the victim mentality, bro. He's a
Jew, but they're not related. Obviously, the last name.
So he's Jewish.
I'm gonna say because I feel like though they have cultural names.
I should have known. Now let me stop. But what's funny is you said that they have different views. Based on Ben Shapiro, who's more forget your feelings, like facts don't care about your feelings. You're saying
he's not off none of this shit.
Typically, a lot of Jewish people lean into the victimhood, and before Trump, a lot of Jewish people did vote for a lot of the liberal Democratic policies. Like the majority of Jewish people actually voted Democrat.
Oh, okay.
Now the only reason that we're seeing a switch is because Trump has just supported Israel in ways the Democrats are obviously not. The Democrats have taken more of a side of, free Palestine rather than the Republicans, who now have moved to a position where they want to do any and everything when it comes to Israel. And perhaps that's the reason why, they just happen to fall on that side of the argument. But this whole, it's just like, damn, this is what it takes to get Black people support, like having this goofy type of legislation where you feel that you need to go. It's like nobody forced you to perm your hair and to make your hair look like a white woman. Nobody forced you to put horse hair on your head so you can look like a white woman. Nobody forced these things. And it's like you may feel forced because you don't want to do what the alternative is and create your own job. But we had plenty of business owners, when people were Jim Crow and segregation, well, they wouldn't let me shop here. So what did people have to do? Yeah, go learn how to fish on your own. Like, go learn how to get it out your own. Nobody forced you to do these things. Now that you assimilated so much to where your beauty standards became everything white and European, now you're upset because you tried to fit in to this group. And now people are looking at you funny now when you come with some natural hair, probably wanting to touch it and wondering what's going on because they thought that it just came out just straight. And it's on y'all. Like, it's on y'all. Nobody told y'all to move and try to look like white women. I'm not even trying to. I'm being very serious. Nobody told y'all to do that. And now you're wondering why they're looking at. They probably didn't even know that our hair was nappy. You know what I'm saying? They're probably looking at it like, well, all the women got straight hair just like us. Like, y'all done burned y'all hair, put all these dumbass curls in your hair. Now y'all are bald. And now y'all got to wear these goofy wigs because y'all were trying to fit in with white women.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Bro, that's what happened. That's what happened. So we're celebrating this win when we really need to be celebrating. Yo, what is going on?
Oh my goodness. Yo, he reached deep in his bag for that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, bro. You want to know why? Because it's like you only have courage when Josh Shapiro's standing up there. You could have worn whatever hairstyle you want. So what? So what? You can wear whatever hair. Like there's times where on purpose I go into work events with my hair looking like whatever, where I could have done a little retwist. Nah, I'm wearing whatever.
I ain't off that.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I actually think that I like the fact that you can go in there looking clean, well dressed, and then you go in there with your hair looking like whatever. I'm doing what I feel like doing. Yeah. And I'm still going to execute on my assignments at a high level, and it is what it is. Like, who's going to say something?
Yeah.
Half the time, white people don't know whether my locks are done or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't know whether
you'll get it done. They'll pull up and be like, did you do something to your hair?
When I get it done, they're like, yo, did you cut it? Because the parts, they're like, yo, did you cut it? Yo, chill out. Yo,
did you get a haircut?
I'm like, no, I retwisted my new growth. That's what happened.
Yo, did you get a haircut?
Oh man.
Oh man, they be treading water because they really don't want to be offensive. They really just be curious.
Yo, really be curious. That's another thing.
Yeah,
like,
really
people
be
really curious. Like,
yo, you look different. Did you cut your hair?
Yeah. I'm like, yo, nah, chill out. Like,
that shit has got me going this morning, bro.
All right, what we got? We moving on to the next topic. But you didn't see any black men. I didn't see any black men in the back of Josh.
I didn't see no man.
It's like they always looking to gas up a heavy set black woman who. Now, let me stop. Now I'm getting a little out of here. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Yeah. I hope somebody clip this up and get cuts.
My point, y'all know what I'm saying though. My point is they prey on the weak. And a lot of and if we're going down that path,
he's still going.
If we're going down that path, a lot of people do try to use the strong black woman, like they'll have them like working in the company to keep everybody else under control. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about,
Oh
bro.
man,
Come
Yo.
on, man. I went to my boy. We're gonna keep going. So my boy in Florida, matter of fact, the one that I talk about, the one that went overseas to fight for Israel.
yeah,
He owns this big complex in Miami Gardens, and it's a black area. And he was bringing me over there, like just checking out the complex and stuff. That's when we were still friends. Now let me stop. We're still friends. But he had this black woman in there. I already knew what time it was when he walked in. I'm like, oh, he hired her to do and say all the stuff that he probably want to say. She gonna, yeah, you know, she gonna treat the business like it's hers, like our business, boss. Like, hey. Yo. See, this is what happened.
Yo, I should have never let you go on this topic, bro. I should have known he was gonna open up, bro. When he seen that lady hype at the altar, he got super weak and was like, "Why is she so turned?" Oh man.
Let me delete that. We don't need to see that anymore.
Indulge anymore in this. Yeah. Behavior.
Speaking of some, let me stop. Let's move to Brandon Johnson real quick. So interesting thing. I'm not trying to pick on black people either, but if I don't, then who will? Now let me stop. All right, we're gonna share this tab instead. You see it on the screen, cuz?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Our way out of violence. We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that, and we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down.
The ending for me took me out. Oh, are you muted, Clay?
Yeah, I had the sniffles. Is it okay if I play that again?
Yeah.
Because at first glance, I'm like, all right, well, just let them all go free. Like, just we're not arresting nobody. Like, I'm just trying to figure out what.
Let them all go free.
If you don't arrest people, then I guess like this is. Let me just play it again. Make sure I heard him correctly.
We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that, and we've ended up with the largest prison population.
First and foremost, a grown man with a fade mohawk.
Oh my God!
Since we're talking about
in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down. We cannot incarcerate.
So Vons, this is I'm gonna give y'all a prime example.
Oh boy, let me mute up.
Vons said he rocks with this Chicago mayor. Y'all are gonna see, or maybe you won't. Maybe Vons will prove me wrong. Vons, what do you like about the Chicago mayor? And you can't say the word black. Tell me what you like about him without saying the word black. Tell me maybe a policy that he put in play. Tell me maybe some results that he put in play to fix some of the violent issues that are going on down there. Because you rocking with him, and we've played multiple videos of the black people that actually live in the community. And those are the ones standing up in the town hall meetings, standing up saying that Brandon Johnson is incompetent, doesn't know what he's doing. Grandmothers can't walk through the streets feeling safe. Kids can't walk through the streets feeling safe. So just tell me, without using the word black, why you rock with this mayor. And we'll wait for you to comment, but we'll move on while we're talking about that. What is he suggesting? If you can't arrest criminals, then what other option do we have? And when it comes to him being in office, he's already been in office for a very long time. People are complaining. They don't want the National Guard to come in there. They've been calling Chirac for a very long time. Before Mayor Johnson, there was Mayor Lori Lightfoot. What are the solutions? Because I hear him saying that you can't do certain things. You can't just arrest people. That's racist. It's racist to arrest people who are committing crimes. That's where we are right now. That's where DEI has brought us. That's where victimhood has brought us. That's where a lot of the white liberals who pander to this type of nonsense have brought us, simply because they want to put somebody that can represent them and they can, operate on puppet strings to be the face of something, rather than the racist white person that the other party will bring to the table. What is he suggesting? Like, what do you do in a city like Chicago? Why not let Trump go in there? The Chicago residents are saying, bring the National Guard in. If we can't rely on the mayor, if he's going up there saying you can't arrest people, then what are the other options? BK, tell me the other options.
Well, he replied and said his fight against corruption.
So Vons wrote, hold on. Let's go through this. Which corruption? Like, literally, he's the one that has been being accused of the corruption by the black people that live in the city. So what corruption are we talking about? You see how we always use these type of words that you throw out: his fight against racism, his fight against corruption. What fight? Just explain to me. Was it an Epstein files type of thing? Was it something specific that you're referring to, his fight against corruption? What exactly was it? What issues was he facing when it came to corruption? I think Vons respond?
Mm-hmm.
It's just be honest, Vons. You like him because he's black. And this is the same thing that a lot of us fell for, right? The banana in the tailpipe, right? When it came to Barack Obama. When you continue to make decisions just because people are black, you get what we just saw in the first video. People celebrating and clapping. The white liberal guy, he's telling us it's okay to wear our hair in locks. Do you understand how of a victimhood, oppressed, mindset that is? To feel like you got to have your politician, your governor say, oh yeah, we're allowed to wear whatever hair we want to wear. Like, all of these type of people that get in these positions, like, they just pander and pander either to black women or to black men who, in my opinion, instead of rather doing the work and taking accountability and figuring it out for themselves, they can only compete when, we need the playing field to be leveled. Like, it's that type of mindset that I don't see producing any type of results. Right. So his bio is relatable as well. What about his bio is relatable to you, Vons? What about his bio is and I'm not picking on Vons. But it's just to show an example of like how we get so emotionally connected with the people that we choose to vote for. Meanwhile, Vons is saying that he likes Brandon Johnson in the city where young black men are being killed at such high rates that they refer to the city as Chirac. So your emotions to him and you liking him, you disregard the fact that he's not doing his job. He's not executing. And when the mayor of Chicago doesn't do his job, black babies die. Grandmothers don't feel safe in neighborhoods. So you think you're doing yourself a favor because he's relatable, because he's black, which is just not using the word. But in all actuality, he's failing the very people that you're talking about, black people. But you're not talking about it. He's relatable. What about his life is relatable to you, Vons? No, honestly, I relate to his story about health insurance. What's his story about health insurance? You're talking about a story about health insurance in a city where this man is failing and there's black kids dying at such high rates. So do black kids being killed, like, is that part of health? Is that part of your health when you're 15, 14, 13 years old and you think that it's just natural to just go around and shoot the people just because they belong to the next block? Like, what? I'm just trying to figure this out. So Vons wrote, he can't save Chicago. People will die. He's doing his best. Oh my God. This is the participation trophy mindset. He's doing his best. Well, if that's his best and he's failing, then what do you think should happen, Vons? What do you think happens on most jobs when people do their best and they fail? What happens on your job when you do your best and you fail? Somebody dies, right? So do you think that he should still have that job? Or because he's relatable? Like, what happened to being judged on merit? What happened to being judged on, okay, you know what? I tried my best. I failed. Somebody else needs to get here. This is, I don't understand. This is like, this. Vons, you played football. You played football. When you have an assignment to do and you miss a tackle and you go back and tell the rest of your team and your coach, I did my best. Oh, that's your best, son? No problem. Go to the sideline. We'll put somebody else in. But when it comes to the mayor who actually represents and can hopefully save people's lives, we hold him to a lesser standard than we would a football player. If a guy on your favorite football team was not doing their job, but they were doing their best, you would call for them to, get him out the game. But for the mayor, because he's relatable, you're cool with him. You like him. You see where this stuff goes? Like, this is insane, bro. This is insane. It's insane. Shout out to my brother Steve SB in the building. So much real estate that can be repurposed, developed, and flourished for community members. That would be dope. Yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope in a lot of these cities. Go ahead, cuz.
I was gonna say at some point they gotta consider buying O Block in Southside Chicago. At some point, it's got to change its trajectory and its direction. The community has to do a better job. But at this point, it looks like they've lost complete control of the community and the kids are running rampant and doing kind of what they want. And so, I don't think, but I'm starting to feel as if they wanted to make that area what they wanted to make it, I feel like they could make it that area unless, like you said, there's some behind the scenes conversations that are going on that are okay with that area being exactly what it is.
So you're saying that you think that they could fix it if they wanted to?
Yeah, I just don't see, I just don't give America grace when it comes to solving issues overnight. You know what I mean? Like, I just think things can happen. I think if they truly wanted to get areas like that completely gutted out, gentrified, and made into a multi-use area, I mean, look at what's happened to so many parts of like New York and New Jersey. Like, look what Brooklyn has become now versus what it was when we were growing up. Like, you can turn those places into successful things. Atlanta has had that happen. A lot of areas in here that used to be considered not necessarily areas people wanted to walk down the street or raise children in, they have completely knocked those places down. And then we've got Chick-fil-A's, we've got high-end restaurants, we've got all different types of stuff like that. So it makes me question, like, all right, y'all all keep going up to bat, getting struck out. Okay, now I'm not going to start thinking the problem is a problem anymore, because if you wanted to solve the problem, it wouldn't be a problem. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, is there a benefit to keeping that side of Chicago that way? Because I'm not understanding why. Or if it ain't, then man, get them people out of there. We got to get our communities under control. You know what I mean? It's no longer like, I'm tired of, I see this happen with our communities, but it's like, I see this emphasis on, I agree. Look at Newark and Manhattan. It took 10 years plus. Yeah, I mean, but Chicago's been considered what I know of Chicago for my entire life. Yeah. Chicago's always been labeled like this. And I'm 30, I'm almost 40. So we're talking about multiple decades of that. So in my opinion, Chicago they need to do a full, like, get it out of there. Get it out of there. Just make it what it needs to be to get some motion in that area, because at this point in time, I think these mayors and these people in politics that are representing Chicago are benefiting from Chicago being as separate as it is. And so I don't think they're truly trying to solve the problem. I think they just want to keep showing us that they're going at bat, and they're the next one is the next one, et cetera, et cetera. But in my opinion, if they want to make that joint happen, bruh, just get that stuff out of there. And people in the community, Black people in the community, you need take control of your community.
That's what go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like the kid, like we always talk about the kids, but it's just like, whose kids are these? Mm-hmm. Like whose kids are outside with Dracos? Whose kids are not in school? Like if you can't raise them, then don't have them. Stop laying around with little whoever, and then what? Like I'm not off none of that. Like I feel like no other culture got to freaking manage their people more than us, and we always looking at the government to do it, and then get mad when the government uses places like penitentiaries to solve it because they don't want to have the time to do it. Like I don't see these issues in the Asian community. Now, don't give me the scapegoat. Oh, it happens in all communities. Yes, I agree. But it just doesn't seem as if we even got a foot in the race when it comes to just having our children respect elders. Just respect the lady across the street to not sag your pants, not doing that. And it's not all Black folks. But for the ones it is, for the good ones, y'all got to start stepping in and start addressing some of this and holding these parents accountable. I don't care if Shirley is at work all day and she can't watch her kid. Well, where's her dad? Where's his dad? Mm-hmm. And if dad ain't around, then we need to have a conversation about what the hell we doing in here, because we keep talking about generational wealth and we don't have no opportunity. Yeah, because you keep having 50 kids.
Mm-hmm. And go. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, yeah. So it makes it so difficult. And then now we see the government or the politics not necessarily being our benefit. And now why are you on the stage holding politicians accountable? Call the damn parents up. I don't want to see that is a crowd of parents who more upset with the politics with the mayor than they are the parents. I don't lean on politics. I don't lean on the cops. I don't lean on the state. I don't lean on these people to know what's right and wrong. That's because that is a value that our parents have raised us to have. So we're not looking for these situations because we just know right. Morally, we have been taught right. This is a lack of parenthood in raising children. This is Jennifer at work all day, and that ain't shit boyfriend who was in the streets already is teaching her son how to do this. This is lack of parenting. Stop holding politicians accountable before you hold you know what I'm saying? You think if these kids were in quarter zips and macho, you think they'd be getting pulled? No, they're on the block with Nike Techs and a ski and a shiesty. They don't grab somebody Kia and they talking about some stay away from me. Don't profile me. I'm not hearing that. Black kids are Black parents' responsibility, period. Null and void.
But the reason why they can't put it on the parents is because when you put it on the parents, what it ultimately leads to is a lot of these policies that the Democrats and liberals had put in place to destroy the family, to take the father out of the household. What was Black Lives Matter, their mission statement? To destroy the nuclear family. It's like, here you have the most important thing for a community. The most important thing for that community right now is having strong Black fathers in those households. That's what determines. But they don't want to put it on the parents. They always want to look elsewhere. There's always this blame game. I saw John wrote a question earlier. And of course, Vaughn said, that's a good question. Okay, so John wrote, who decides that they would only have one housing project for the whole city in a different neighborhood? who decides that you need to live in a project? You're not forced. Black people are not forced to live in a project. You can do whatever it takes in order to get yourself out of that situation. That's on you. Should the government, now we got to blame the government for, they got to help me get out of this situation. I can't figure out how to get another job. I can't. It's just all the blame game. Y'all may be right. Y'all may be the reparation people that feel like, oh, we deserve it. It doesn't work. People talking about, somebody mentioned, I think it was Vons, he mentioned Manhattan and Newark and said that it takes 10 years. It took 10 years. Vons, you're absolutely wrong. You're absolutely wrong. You know what it took? And it's going to take, if the black parents do not take accountability, it's going to take a Rudy Giuliani. It's going to take a Rudy Giuliani. Let me read some stats for you since you said it takes 10 years. Between 1993, the year before Giuliani took office, and 1998, the city reported a minus 49.3 decrease in overall crime and a negative and around 49.3% decrease in overall crime and a approximately 69.3% decrease in homicides. 49.3%. That did not take 10 years. I'm sorry. This is showing a 5-year span. My apologies. Between 1993, I should get the exact numbers, but that is a 49.3% decrease in overall crime, 69.3% decrease in homicides. I think last year Chicago hit like 800 or something homicides. Do you know what's taking 70% of those homicides would do to those communities every year? But people don't like the way that Giuliani went about it. People don't like, I saw somebody in the comments, I think Critical Thinking wrote that, we got to profile people. People don't want stop and frisk. People don't want all these things. So what are the options here? Either the parents do it, like I've seen in some of these Detroit communities where they have the fathers that are out here walking around the neighborhoods and they're becoming the police, because we've seen this done before. Isn't that where the gangs were supposed to start? With the Bloods and the Crips, supposed to protect the neighborhoods. So we've seen this before. We go over this over and over, where we always talk about people need to police their own. The good cops need to call out the bad cops. Why are black people, where's all these good black people? Vons, are you walking around the neighborhoods helping to keep things secure? Like, what? How come everybody always places it on somebody else?
Yeah,
it's always like, oh, here it is. Pass the. Oh, you got it. You got it.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Then when everybody passes it and a Giuliani gets in office and he says, nah, we're stopping this now. We're stopping it now. We don't care what you tell me. Is a black kid's life in Chicago, if it's going to save 70% of kids' lives, do you think that that's worth stopping frisk? If it's gonna decrease homicides, if you had to choose to decrease homicides by 70% in a city where they haven't really been able to show any substantial decreases, would you choose that, or would you choose to say no? I'll keep the murderers, but because I don't want to be profiled, I don't want to stop and frisk. Which one would you decide? We want the perfect solution for these problems, and the only perfect solution are the ones that the Democrats and liberals don't focus on, which is to have a strong black father in the household instead of elevating all of these strong black women like the liberals typically do and having them run the household instead of incentivizing them with social programs to be the leader of the household. This is very simple. It's across the board, across all different cultures. You have a strong father in the household, and it solves a lot of these issues. Vons, you've spoken about that before. So I don't understand why we act so confused when it comes to these issues. I don't understand why we sit here and say, oh, I like Brandon Johnson. I don't care whether I like Brandon Johnson or not. He's failing at his job. He needs to go. But yeah. I don't know. Oh, man, I'm not supposed to say I don't know. Y'all know what it is. Man, I do my part at work. What do you do after work, Vons? Clearly, we have a huge problem. Like, this is the thing, yo. And I hate to be picking on Vons. I do my part at work. Everybody wants to do the bare minimum, but to solve a problem that clearly calls for more than the bare minimum. I do my job at work. When I'm off the clock, nah, I ain't helping no niggas out. I ain't helping them niggas out while I'm off the clock. I ain't volunteering my time to do something off the clock. It's like, yo, so do we really want the problem solved?
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. This lack of accountability, it doesn't do any of us well. I look in this picture, I don't see any black men. Of course, besides Brandon, let me not even. You got anything else to add on that one, BK?
You're right. There ain't no black men there.
Like it's always just they put somebody who's the face of it, and then they just gather a whole bunch of black women because they tell black women, oh, you're not respected in your community by the Negro man. Like, we're gonna help elevate you. We're gonna help you. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You need black men to lead families. And the faster we accept that, the faster the men accept that and take that accountability, the faster the men accept that and play their role. And I think the women will accept it, but perhaps they haven't because they're so accustomed to having to turn into somebody else. It's like in sports. It's like I can't focus on just playing one position if coach keeps requiring me to play all these other positions. Mm-hmm. So I understand from their standpoint. But however, a lot of these elite black women who end up being the ones that take on these positions and become successful, they need to keep it real with themselves. Black men gotta lead. Men gotta lead. And all y'all pandering black men liberals or white men liberals, y'all are destroying the black families. All of these people, all these women that got all y'all black women riled up. I remember before Donald Trump, when he was going up against Hillary Clinton, all of them were on the same side, all the women getting together. And then what happened? The white women in that election, they ended up voting right with their husbands. Voting right with their husbands. Perhaps y'all should perhaps there should be a lesson learned from that. But of course we won't. Of course we won't, because we got Michelle Obama and Barack Obama putting out ads telling people to vote against their husbands. That's what they're telling the black community. Ladies, you can vote for whoever you want once you get in that booth. You don't have to vote with your family. Choose us. The politicians, we're going to solve your problems. Oh, man. Holy. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. I'm tired of talking about black people. Let's talk about Israel. let's talk about something we can come together on now. Oh man, I'm gonna get in trouble. All right, no, but I mean that's kind of where I was. I wasn't serious, but kind of. Well, yeah. Let's just play the video. Share this tab instead. Interesting conversation here, and I just want to sit back and I don't know. I don't really have. Let me just play the video. Back and forth between Piers Morgan and Dave Rubin, and a lot of these mindsets are. They just paint the picture so vividly of what's going on when it comes to Israel, Palestine, our government, how certain people look at other people. So I like having these I like seeing these conversations and then figuring out how we can do better. So let's take a look at this.
You acknowledge that there's been no starvation, correct?
No.
You don't acknowledge
I
that?
don't acknowledge that.
Where are the videos and images of the starving Gazans?
Well, I've seen a lot, but you would dismiss them all as fakes. The UN says there was starvation, but you guys don't believe a word the UN says. The other official bodies say there was starvation. You don't want to hear a word they say. Israel denies everything. You can say that no Gazan has starved at all. The reports by almost every official body say the opposite, but you don't believe them. However, the best way to get to the truth is let journalists who are used to covering in war zones, let them go in and do their job, particularly now we have the ceasefire. There is a reason the Israeli government is not letting the media in. They are terrified about what the world will uncover.
I just think that's just nuts.
Well, let them in.
I just think
it's one way to find out.
A lot of them look fat. They have fresh clothes
I've
and
seen
fresh
lots
haircuts.
of images of Palestinians looking hungry.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't dispute that 20,000 plus children have died, right?
So whose fault is that? I mean,
you don't honestly think that life for a young Palestinian kid in Gaza in the last 2 years has been anything but utter helldy. I do believe the 3-month blockade earlier this year was a criminal blockade. I believe it was deliberate starvation of a people, deliberately denying them food and aid. If you
Has any other country in the history of the world been told to feed the people that are killing it?
If you look at the Geneva Convention, actually, but then no other country in the world has had the control that Israel has over Gaza, right?
Well,
which again is a whole separate issue. Show me another moment in the 75-year conflict where the response has been to kill 60 times as many people, and where you have hang on, let me finish. Where you have a government with people like Smodrich and Ben-Gvir who begin publicly, openly talking about ethnically cleansing all the Palestinians from Gaza, about annexing the West Bank, about taking complete control of all of it, to the point that Donald Trump had to step in and say that is not happening.
Random.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that they're going off the numbers. I think there were around like 1,000 people that were killed on October 7th. My math may be a little bit off. So this number of about 60,000 people that have been killed, it's like, wasn't that the number like in 2024 that was reported, or 2023? So I see more and more bombing happening like on TV, but the number never seems to increase.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're still going off these same numbers. So that's just a little, I don't know. Maybe my numbers are a little bit off, but but Pierce is, in my opinion, laying it out pretty fairly. And Pierce is not like a pro-Palestine guy in this argument, like especially what he was initially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not like Pierce is the guy that's been calling out Israel for a very long time. No, he was very much supporting Israel getting their get back when it came to October 7th. But the guy, Dave Rubin, I mean, you hear the questions that he's asking. I mean, whose fault is it that the kids are dying? Like, whose fault?
That's a wild take.
Yeah.
That you got, like, I don't understand. It's another group of people not accepting accountability. Like, at what point does that even come to your mind, and you even say that comment, and you ever think that your point will come across because of a comment like that? Like, were you looking for somebody to say, oh, it was their responsibility? It's our responsibility. They're children. They're all our issues. And so the fact that's not your position or stance to begin with just shows how desensitized you are to doing what you're doing, inhumane you are, ignorant you are, and facetious and manipulative and demonic to even think that somebody should be a finger should be pointed to somebody when it comes to children dying, as if it wouldn't be your big grown ass's decision to help avoid those issues to continue to happen, or at least voice that you have an issue to begin with it. That's like saying kids that get in sex traffic, or they're being moved around, get caught in sex trafficking and things of that nature, abduction, stuff like that, and say, well, whose fault is that? Where's the parent? Like, what the fuck are you even saying, you weirdo? It's like, it's dudes like this, like they got this energy with him, but you can't come around here. These people got to get on the right podcast for this type of energy, because that doesn't fly everywhere. Like, we would call you a coward. We don't care whose kid's in the street. If there's children in a compromising position, anybody who's got a man or woman is to protect them children. I don't care whose child that is. If I see somebody on some weird shit in the neighborhood, I'm going to ask, well, whose fault is that he's outside? I don't give a damn about none of that. But these cowards, and we continue to say a lot of politics and a lot of these people that get on with these little suits and put these little hats on their head, and they just start talking as if they're not aware of how to be a grown-up. You got a problem with somebody, go say it to their face. They've taken the coward, victimized approach in so many angles that I've been watching since we've started this. It's just so childish how these people operate and even think. And then in the same record, you hear how their children speak. Even when that girl spoke that way, we didn't even blame her. We held the parents accountable.
Which girl?
Remember the girl that was talking about Israel's going to grow? The same day that there was that girl who said, I don't know how it's going to happen.
Oh, the clip. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
We didn't even hold her accountable because we're like, this is a child. Mm-hmm. We know who's responsible. Where the parents at? Mm-hmm. When we see the badass kids in Chicago, Where the parents at? So these are the parents. These are the parents teaching these children to assume that it's normal for other children to die because of because of grown-up shit.
Mhm.
No kids to be involved in that. So at what point did we not draw the line? Man, even in the hood, kids are off limits. Even in the hood, it's not normal you keep the children out of it. You don't involve them in grown-up stuff. To hear a grown man with this Pauly D haircut just got me going, bro. He just got me going. And it's just like, I can't wait to the day that people without an agenda, people with testosterone start stepping up and start being the men that we need in charge of this world. Not getting involved in this petty stuff, but calling out these behaviors and these demonic things that shouldn't align with anybody belief. If your beliefs in your religion aligns with this, then your religion is to blame and you're the problem for perpetuating it continually.
Cosa Nostra, man. The Italians, they said, yo, women and kids, off limits.
Off limits.
Off limits. And now you get these, but to your point, I guess what you're saying, are we even surprised? When people do such evil things, they got to figure out a way to justify it, right?
Yep.
They got to figure out a way it's just a shame that we have so many outsiders justifying it. It's like, even I look at them as the people that have this type of mindset. I'm actually offended by them more than even, let's say, like and it's going to sound maybe crazy, and maybe I'll take this back, but even the people that are actually in it, like the people that are actually fighting, the Israelis, the soldiers that are actually fighting, maybe to even a certain extent is like I'm not going to say Bibi Netanyahu, but the reason why I say this is because us looking from the outside in, we have the full scope of all this that's going on. People that are in the conflict, sometimes you could be crashing out and bugging and you don't even realize it because you're just so far in it. Dave Rubin, in my opinion, I don't even know if Dave Rubin's Jewish. If he is Jewish, then what I'm saying perhaps doesn't hold much weight. But Dave Rubin, as an American, like, how do Americans look at that situation? How do Americans, based on the principles that we're supposed to have, right? How do Americans, especially the Christians, how do you look at that type of situation, what's going on between Israel and Palestine, and there's any justification for it? Like, how? I just don't get it.
No, but it goes in alignment, like we talked about yesterday, is we see a common trend with coward behavior, and we see the good people never, quote unquote, the good people never willing to call out the bad people in their community. So this is where it is an issue again. The problem isn't that not all people that are on the side of Israel believe in this, because we know they don't. We're aware of the people that don't, but we're tired of the silence of the people that don't agree with it, because they don't want to necessarily get their hands dirty, or they don't want to be canceled. You sound like the black women that were complaining about the hair at the beginning of the show. I did it because I was scared to lose my job. Then why are you working in a place that doesn't condone the behaviors that you align with? Would you go to a church that doesn't align with your beliefs? I don't think you'd be a Christian and to be like, I'm gonna go to the mosque today. You wouldn't do that, would you? We wouldn't question that behavior, because why? It doesn't align with your beliefs. Oh, but when it's money, then I can be quiet now. I gotta pay my bills. And it's that type of control that they're aware of, and they continue to scare you into believing that this is your only way out of it, or this is your only way through the situation. You have to take responsibility for aligning yourself with the things that support what you support. And if they don't align with it, and people are representing your party, representing your religion, representing your congregation, and they're not handling it accordingly, have the same effing energy that you got towards Donald Trump when you don't like what he says on the podium. Have that shit for your pastor. Have that shit for the people on these podcasts that don't align with you. I want to see you spread yourself thin in showing us what you believe in. Everybody all of a sudden mouth gets shut. And that's the coward approach that we not standing on that. Back in the day, if a little kid did something wrong in the neighborhood, he wasn't concerned about his mom or dad necessarily seeing him. He was scared that somebody in the neighborhood was going to see him, check him, and then go tell his parents. Mm-hmm. We've lost this type of village mentality. We've lost this type of family behavior, and look what it's cost us. Look at the people in charge now. We've let these people get out of hand. So I don't know what happened from the generation where that was the normal to now, but we've completely given complete control to everyone outside of that, and we've given control to the wrong people. So in order to step back in and be able to put ourselves in a position where these conversations aren't normal, it should not be normal to hear somebody say, oh, whose fault is that? Somebody go punch him in his mouth. Go call him out. Go cancel him. He should be scared to say shit like that. But why isn't he? Because he know ain't nobody got nuts to put on the table and address the shit. Mm-hmm. All the believers, all the people that say, well, we not for that. Where's the energy at? Why he not canceled? Why he not canceled for saying that? Why he not scared of the people, the good people? That's the problem. You got to understand, if you're on the side of good, you have to come in a way that you scare people that are on the other side, the opposition. Y'all come in soft with everything. So if you're not willing to stand for what you believe in and willing to crash out for it, I'm just telling you, they got kids that are 15 that are crash out for the wrong reasons. Why the hell you can't crash out for the right ones? That's sad to see that we complain about Southside Chicago's because kids who get upset with other kids are willing to shoot somebody, but we got grown-ass men who ain't willing to check somebody. Mm-hmm. Don't complain about Chicago. It's a blueprint. Try it. Try it overseas. See what kind of motion you can get. But it's just like everywhere I look, it's just somebody grown and soft. Somebody grown and soft. Somebody who's been through the school system, the job market, corporate, and just lost his nuts. Ain't got none. Mm-hmm. Not a stand-up person. No more superheroes in the community anymore. Nobody willing to go fight tooth and nail for their sons or their kids. They're not even fighting for their children. This ain't fighting for the children. Look at the men we've put ahead. Look at the men we've put in positions of authority to fight for our children and have the audacity to say we care about America. It's cap. You care about your America. You don't care about America. So, Joey, get me going, man.
Nah, talk that talk, bro. I'm whatever he on, I'm on. Whatever he just said, that's what I'm on. And it's a lack of accountability, and I'm going to move it in the direction of that Robert took it. I one day do want to touch on when it comes to Dave Rubin. I know that somebody just wrote it in the comment. He's a gay guy, just I believe just had some kids, and he's a gay guy, just had some kids with his husband, and I do want to have that discussion. Maybe not right now. The way BK's face looking, I kind of want to have it right now. but I do. Let's just let me bring it to where Robert was bringing it. Let me not get too caught up on just making it about Dave Rubin. But everything you said is absolutely true, and to the point where everybody listening. The same way that you're scared to say certain stuff about Jewish people, let's just call it what it is. People are scared of Jewish people. People are scared to bring up Jewish Israel. People are scared to say it. If any other group of people was moving how Jewish people were moving, you'd have no problem criticizing them. No problem calling them out. But with Jewish people, let's just be real. We're scared of them. We're scared of them. That's why they can get away with committing a genocide and everybody just sits back. spitting on your God's name. They're spitting on your God, violating your God's commandments. They're violating your God's commandments, and you just sit back and just let it happen. Don't say anything. Don't voice your opinion. Don't say, nah, that's wrong. You just rely on other people to speak up. And of course, they become targets. Now, I wonder if everybody was speaking out and saying these things that are common sense, would they be able to target perhaps some of these people like a Candace Owens who speak out? Would they be able to target a lot of these other people that speak out? Who knows? Obviously, what's going on with Charlie Kirk? A lot of people believe that there was something going on there where he was shifting his stance. Would it even be a question if more people were speaking out on these things? But it's like anything else. There's a small percentage of people that are willing to speak out, that are willing to go and do more than just what you do on the job. There's a small group of people. And if those small group of people don't do it, and typically don't get the support of everybody else, typically those small group of people, those are the people that everybody's not supporting. They just talk ish in the background, but don't support those small group of people that do have the courage to go out there and speak up against something. But let me get to Robert's point, and of course, Robert, we always appreciate.
Oh, shout out to you, Robert. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah, the welfare system rules encourage the removal of men in the family unit. As married, the woman will lose all the government assistance. We need to change policy so we reward people for being married and living together. I 100% agree.
Absolutely.
100%. It's the fathers and who created the welfare system. See, black people, just like we'll get up there and shook and jive and clap for Josh Shapiro because Josh Shapiro said it's okay for niggas to wear locks. So we're going to celebrate that. Just like we celebrate that when it comes to this issue. Because they dangle a carrot of giving you free stuff in front of your face with the social programs, we don't even realize how it has led to the destruction of our family. Every single problem. Think about one problem in the black community. BK, play devil's advocate. Give me one problem in the black community that a strong black father wouldn't solve. Anybody in the chat? Give me one issue in the black community that a strong black father wouldn't solve. Give me one issue in America that a strong male leader wouldn't solve. But let's leave it in the black community. Everybody wants to complain. See, this is why they put women in power. Because this is why they put women in power.
Yep.
Because they know it'll destroy the family, and we won't even be smart enough to realize what's going on. We'll just have problems to complain about. And they need to create problems, the Democrats, because if the Democrats don't create problems in the black community, then how are they going to sell you a product that only works based on you being a victim? They need us to be doing terribly. They need us to be doing very terrible because then they can say, well, you're doing terrible because of those racist white people on the other side. That's all this is. That's all this is. They literally incentivize women. Which is more important? Why does a woman value a government dollar, a government check over a man? Have we performed like that bad to where it's literally where a woman's choosing between strong black man, government assistance? Strong black. I'm going to go with the government assistance. I'm going to go with these food stamps. I'm going to go with this terrible trash apartment. I'm going to go with all these things rather than that man. So the blame, put it on the men. I still always put it on the men because most of it is the majority of pandering men. The majority of pandering men. I remember I always bring up this conversation, BK. I was on this Clubhouse. I don't think you were on this when Clubhouse first started. And I was arguing with all these men. One of them was in the chat. Not necessarily that I would say that I was arguing with, but he was in the conversation. And I don't think that we were necessarily agreeing. The conversation of toxic masculinity came up. Which has been the group, when you look at Democrats or Republicans, who was trying to convince us that men who just stand on business, men who are strong men, you're being toxic. There's toxic masculinity. They're trying to emasculate men, trying to make men more vulnerable. Oh, you need to be more vulnerable. You need to be more open. People running around saying that. Women don't even like that. Women don't even like that. That was just something it was just like some game that was ran on them to where it was just an easy complaint that they could have to men. Who wants a vulnerable man? Who wants a weak man? Who wants a man that doesn't stand on principles, stand on like it's ridiculous, but we bought into it. We bought into the fact that toxic masculinity was an actual thing. We need to redefine what manhood looks like. It's okay for men to cry. Like, why do they keep pushing all of us in this direction? And then they wonder why the majority of us are emasculated, have no leadership traits, don't feel like we even have a purpose in leading, in being a father, or just being a role model in the community. We think that, oh, well, I just got to do it while I'm on my job. After that, when I'm in the community, that's not my responsibility. Where are the actual fathers? Where's the fathers at that are going to stand like and not care about what that woman may complain about? That woman who got fed the lies by the Democratic Party, and now she's feeding into these well, women need to be empowered. Women need to be this. Women need to be that. No, men need to be empowered, especially strong fathers. And instead of trying to make us weak, instead of trying to make us and to remove us from the equation, people need to put us into the equation. Why not, like Robert said, why not incentivize people to be married? Why would you create an incentivization for people not to be married, to not have a man in the household, when you know that the biggest factor in determining whether or not a child will be successful, perhaps whether or not your daughter will get pregnant early, whether or not your son will go to jail, is the father in the household. And that's not where they tend to focus on. They want to focus on other areas. So they want to incentivize, and that's the Democrats, that's the liberals, the policies that apparently Vons and a whole bunch of others like. Those are the policies that are removing the father from the household, that are emasculating the father, taking away the father's power. And then we get the results. We get the results of the moms that every time you see a kid on TV who just shot up a whole bunch of people, my baby, not my baby. My baby was a good kid. My baby was a good. No, your baby was your baby's a demon. Your baby's a demon because he didn't have a father raising him, and the streets raised him, and your emotional behavior raised him. And that's what he then brought out into the streets, being overly emotional, just responding to disrespect. He disrespected me. And then we get this cycle of what we see now. And now they don't have father figures in the household. So now where are they looking? They're looking for the people in their community that have respect. Well, who's going to be the people in the community in your projects that have respect?
The drug dealers.
Come on, man. This is just...
It's really easy.
It's easy. We make it complicated.
We're making it complicated. We're making it complicated. It's really easy. It's really easy. It's really obvious. But this is what I say. I no longer give people empathy as I've gotten older for choosing bad decisions consistently. I believe they cool with it and they okay with it. So I'm not moved when y'all have issues and problems, because I'm going to question, why were you in that situation to begin with? We know what it takes to fix these things. If women took more ownership in not giving John, the cornball that doesn't show you the principles, the morals, the motivation, the discipline that it takes to even be a good man, then you shouldn't put him in a position to ever be a father to your child. But that would also require your father to teach you what morals and foundational principles that you are attracted to know how to vet who you procreate with. Not necessarily who's the tallest, who's got the nice car. I don't want to hear none of that. He got to be 6'6" with a 6. No, like, this is not how you procreate. And because women aren't holding these silly men accountable, you're giving these men your time. You're not pouring into men. Men aren't a certain height. Men aren't a certain weight. men aren't a certain income, but because this is the way that you guys have misengaged where what you're attracted to, now you guys are giving people a position they should have never been in to begin with. And you're not forcing the men to become men. You're giving them everything on the front end, and they're giving you empty promises on the back end. You should know what a good father looks like, but it should start in your own home. And if it doesn't, gravitate towards somebody that you believe is a good father. But if we want this to stop, we have to stop using the excuse of, well, I ain't grow up with that. Well, go around the people that do like that. Me and Dak don't have the same parents, but I gravitate towards this family because they have morals, ethics, and principles that I align with, that I love. I may not have all those boxes checked at my crib, but I'm going to go find them because I know what I want to be when I become a father. So you can make these decisions and not be emotional. But when you're trying to chase John because he looks straight, or your female circle is going to say, oh, yeah, he's cute, girl, but he doesn't move with morals and principles, and you're wasting your time, it's going to cause a problem every time. It's both parties. This is a Venus and Mars issue. Men, you got to step up and be the men that you need to be, and understand you being a man is not defined by your income, your height, your size, your weight, your color, how long you can speak, whether you got a gap in your teeth. That doesn't make a man. And women, you have to entertain and understand that you are procreating. You are creating the next generation. And so we want the best possible, opportunity for your family lineage to continue and be successful. It's not through procreating with John on the street. It's just not. So both parties got to be held accountable. That word again keeps running around and following us all week. We have to both be accountable and understanding he shouldn't have been getting the cookies to begin with because you knew he wasn't going to be a father. But your father never showed you a good father, so you thought John was a good father.
BK, stop playing with me, bro. I see what you know what you're doing.
No, where am I at?
Keep going.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. So this is not they did it, chicken or the egg, whatever. Where we're at right now, if we want this problem to move forward, women, you hold a lot of power. And that power is going to be who you associate with, who you procreate with, who you spend your time with. And you are more than welcome to cut off people that are not for that, family included. If they're not perpetuating this into a positive space, a motivating space, an opportunity for you to continue the morals and principles that you feel like you align with, your religious values per se. But I find it so interesting that people will ask you in the first couple dates, oh, what do you believe in God? And that's a judgment of whether or not I'm going to continue to deal with this person. Well, do you ask him, does he believe in discipline? Does he believe in morals? Does he believe in taking care of his children? I don't care who he believes in at that point. We'll figure out the religion thing on the back end. But on the front end, is he what I need to procreate with? If I create a child with him, is it going to be something is he going to be gone the next day? Hold them accountable. And if they're good liars, then I suggest you get closer to a man. He'll give you all the answers to the test of how men operate if you're lost. If you can't read a man, find yourself a good man in the community. And he'll read your man for you and he'll let you know. But the answers are there, bro. The problems ain't hard, bro.
All right. I'm glad that you did that because it gave me some time to think about, my response, because this is the worst group of women ever. This is the worst group of women ever. And it's not your fault, but it is your fault to a certain point if you continue to allow it and don't recognize it and don't pass down something to the next generation of women. This is the most overweight, and I wrote down some things. The most overweight group of women we've ever seen, the strongest, opposed to, feeling independent, I guess would be the right word, attitudes, unappreciative, self-centered, purposeless, not trying to have kids, not trying to have family, all these different things. If we're being real, this is the worst group of women we've ever seen in recent history. And the reason why, it's because of something that you said, in my opinion. It's because of fathers. It's because the lack of fathers. And this should be I get into this conversation a lot, because what I see happening is you could treat a woman better than her father treated her mother, and get treated worse than the mother treated the father. Here I can be with somebody, or what I'm seeing in society, because it's not just about me, but literally your father and grandfather dogged the shit out of your mother and your grandfather. And you got more respect for them than you have for me, who's trying to hold you accountable to the things so we can work together as a unit, as a team, as a family, as a relationship. But you've never been held accountable to your father, because what do we say all the time? Your father raised you to be a woman that he could not stand dating. All of these parents raise these fucking princesses when I'm trying to marry a queen, right? But you only know how to behave like a princess. You only know how to behave like a child. You've never had constructive criticism. You never were taught to do any of these things. You never were taught how to appreciate a man, because you only value your deadbeat ass dad who tried to be your best friend, and instead of being your father because he wanted to be liked, instead of being appreciated for raising you into a woman that can ultimately be with a man. These women are completely unprepared. It's like throwing a kid on the football field without ever teaching him how to play football, and then wondering why he can't perform. Our parents teach us. When you grow up in a family where you've never been held accountable for something, now you have to be held accountable, because if we work together, BK, you and I, we work together, we're a team. I got to hold you accountable. You got to hold me accountable. But if I've never been held accountable, then you think, BK, you can make some constructive criticism on me? Hey, Dak, these topics you may have you talked a little bit too much on that one, ease back. If I've had constructive criticism with football, I'm like, all right, oh, cool, no problem. Let's make some adjustments. I know that you're criticizing the player, the performance, not the person. But if you've never had that, you're taking offense to it. Well, he just doesn't accept me for just being my truest self, my best. No, you need to make improvements. Who do you think you are to where you don't think that you need to grow, to where you think that you can just be exactly who you are and that's enough? That's what women really grow up think. Like, he won't accept me for being me. Who's accepted for being me? I want to make $1 million. The job should just accept me for being me? No, I need to figure out a way to add value that aligns with that $1 million. That makes sense for the result that I'm looking for. We don't have that. We have these pandering ass dads who want to be liked. These punk ass dads who want to be liked instead of actually being fathers. And the reason why I say it that way is because it is destroying our generation. People may not talk about this. It is almost impossible to get along with women right now, men and women. And I'm sure women feel the same way. It is almost impossible. I look around at relationships and I'm like, damn, I don't want any of that.
Any of that.
I look around at relationships, everybody's in counseling the first year or two. I'm like, damn, you don't even got the honeymoon phase. Like, y'all just straight to the counseling. I'm like, I look around at so many relationships and I'm like, damn, yeah, that ain't it. That ain't it. But what do the men fall victim to? Oh, happy wife, happy life. I guess you use that same energy in raising your daughter too. So therefore, you get these women that continuously across the board, they're victims. They're the most unprotected group of women. Well, shut up and fall under my umbrella then. How can I protect something that I can't be in control of when it comes to making the decisions? And if you don't have, if you don't have these things, if you weren't raised with these things, then perhaps you should shut up, give some grace. And when you see a man who's trying his best, right? Trying his best, like Vaughn said, a man who's actually delivering on the things that perhaps your father couldn't deliver on. Perhaps there should be some grace extended to them, and not thinking that, oh, they're always complaining about me. They're always saying, no, I'm pissed off too. I got to teach you the shit that your pop should have taught you about men.
Talk about it.
I'm pissed off too. Who should really be the one pissed off?
Talk about it.
You think I want to have these conversations with you? You
Shit
think
is
I want
exhausting.
to teach you that when you wear leggings outside that are so revealing that men are thinking about putting their penis in you? You think I want to be the one that's got to explain that to you? Did your father not teach that to you? Oh my! Well, I don't understand. Well, ask your father. Ask your father. And we talk about fathers not being in the household. So let's say the majority of these women didn't have fathers in the household. If you don't have a father in the household, then perhaps you should have a real enough conversation with them. Have a real convo and talk about why he wasn't in the household. Talk about these things.
Stand on business.
Say it again.
Stand on business.
You'll have all that energy towards the man. You'll have all that energy towards your boyfriend. You'll have all that energy and attitude towards your husband. But your father, the one that was doing your mom dirty, and granddad who was doing grandma dirty, you don't have any of that energy towards them like that. Oh, that's just pop. Like what? What? This is pop? No, it's just Dak. Give me that grace. I want a family down the street. Like, nah, let me stop.
I want a family down the street too.
I want an escape.
My happiness is important too.
Oh man. Oh my God, bro.
No, that's a fact though. Like, it becomes your responsibility. You inadvertently become responsible for you and the family. And we're not ducking the smoke, but we just saying like, yo, if you don't know what is required to be at the top, you shouldn't be questioning what it takes. If you're attracted to what I'm standing on, if you rocking with a man that you're attracted to what he does on a day-to-day basis, his disciplines, his perception on life, his morals, his ethics, all these things, then you have to sit back and see what it takes to be that person. But you can't change the program with what you believe should be the program because you're in the equation now. No. So we have to understand, like, hold fathers accountable. Go back to the crib and check them. I'm all about standing on business. If that cuts your family off because you're having an honest conversation, then there's a high probability that you're going to raise a family to have a problem having confrontational conversations. We're not letting nothing go under this. We're not letting anything go under the rug anymore because we've seen the outcome. We have had one good cycle, and this is where we're at now. We're not about to make the same. We're not about to Southside Chicago this shit. And then complain left and right. It's a joint effort on both parties. The good got to be aligned with the good, and the trash got to be aligned with the trash. And if you trying to make the jump, if you come from trash and you trying to move to a better place, then you got to understand there's certain morals and principles that you may not be familiar with. I don't know how they move in certain places, but this is why sports is so important, because what you see there, and I'm going to give you a great example. Love using the NFL, right? Niggas Felice, they say. So what we see here is you look on a football team. There's a man on that field who is 10 to 15 to 20 years older than everybody who is playing, who makes less than everybody on that team. These coaches have the free will to walk on there and literally walk to a player who messed up on a play and tell him, Brian, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out. Somebody else get in who wants to fucking play this game. He's acting like a pussy today.
Just like that.
Straight like that. No difference. Send his ass home. He don't know what the fuck he doing here. He been here for 6 weeks. He still can't get it right. Tell him he got to go figure out how he's going to buy his mom that new house and that new car since he can't fucking remember his plays. And I got to shut the hell up and walk off the field and understand my position. How the hell can a grown-ass man who is towering over his coach, who makes more money than his coach, have the humbleness to sit there and listen to that tough criticism and walk back and understand, like Dak said, he's not critiquing the person, he's critiquing the player. Suck it up and get back in there and do the best I can. How is that possible that grown men can understand that? But for some reason, you can't get these girls to understand that. And we're not even talking remotely with the amount of disrespect that I just said. Because what I said is what somebody would say would be deemed as disrespectful. But I'm not emotional. I don't let my emotions get involved. That's how you stay out of jail. When somebody disrespects you, you be like, all right, coach, I got you. You don't be a coward. You just look them in the eye and say, I got you. Bet. That's me. I made a mistake. Y'all right. You turn around, you apologize to your team, and get your ass in fucking line. What's the fucking problem here? What's the problem here? Why are we spending so much time on this topic? Why we can't get this shit straight? If you would stop smashing John for 3 years and being heartbroken for 4 years and having scares and been through everything in emotion with that relationship and don't bring that shit to me, I don't want to fucking deal with that. I don't have time for that. I've got purpose. Your last nigga didn't. I'm not operating on the same wavelength as him. I'm trying to take care of my village. I'm trying to take care of my community. Don't you dare bring what you did to him. You think I care about dinners and all that? Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I'll try. But no, you're not my purpose. I can easily exist on this earth happy without you. You'll never be my priority, my main one at least. You'll always be number two, and you got to be okay with that. Because the men that you guys want to align with, that you can ensure will be good fathers, will never look at you as the priority. They can't. They've been called to do something bigger than somebody in the flesh. So it's better that you just be the co-pilot. Why the fuck you trying to take this shit over? You trying to tell us where our destination should be. The hell? This calling is from God. This calling is from God. You thought you was going to roll up here and all of a sudden you was going to change purpose? No, what the hell are you talking about? I would do this with or without you. But since you like where I'm aligned with, which you should, because these are the things that raise good children. These are the things that keep the community safe. These are the people that you must align with. Then understand the requirement to be here. It doesn't come with confrontation. It doesn't come with it comes with aligning yourself with his purpose, not your fucking purpose.
Yeah, Maya, I just want to let you know that I don't know what BK talking about. I'm just into it for the show, but I promise you, I don't do none of this with you. Huh?
Dog, nobody's on the phone.
I don't believe none of that. Whatever BK saying.
See,
look,
this pandering man shit we're talking.
Hey, Rai, I just want to please, I'll play whatever role I need to play.
Play whatever role.
I'll submit.
You submit the test. Yo, see the words, bro.
Hey, she's like, yo, you know you're on the show. I can hear you.
Come on, man. Come on, baby. So we back at that masculinity, and it starts in the household, bro. You got to be held to a high standard, men and ladies. You got to let those high standard men. And look, let me go crazy real quick.
Keep going.
Let me go crazy, ladies. And we understand there aren't a lot of men out there. I'm willing to push it and say, look, if your John ain't him, then maybe you might have to split time with somebody who is him. Because we talking about people that stand on morals, principles, and there clearly ain't a lot of those, right? But the clock's ticking and you feeling a type of way, and you I don't know, you feel like, oh, what am I left with? I'ma just fuck it. I'ma just take this one. Well, look, I don't think that's the best route. I challenge us to be creative. Creative financing, they call it. I challenge us to say, hey, look, if you can't find one, then share one. Just my take, hot take. But we got to.
That's what Granddaddy did. That's what Grandma did.
Switch it up. If you can't find one, then share one. At the end of the day, I'm focused on principles and morals. So I'm a little joking with this, but it's to put real focus on, like, guys, we got to get the program. Ladies, y'all have a power that cannot be fucked with. And that means men value you more than themselves just for your existence. Don't fucking lose that and misunderstand the power you have. But with that power comes responsibility. And so if you're going to be in that position where you are one of the most important things known to this earth, I challenge you to please understand how to navigate that power. Because your circle of friends is not allowing you to navigate the power you have. The fact that men understand they must provide, protect, and provision. They must protect and provide over themselves, meaning that they care more for you and their family than they do themselves. And that's not necessarily something you guys have earned to do. Please do not lose the authoritative position that you have by doing dumb shit. This is why you don't give a child $1 million when they're 17. This is why you don't give a kid a G-Wagon or a Lamborghini when they get their license. And this is why you can't give women all this power too fucking early. Because you'll see 7 kids from 2 ain't shit baby daddies, and she'll be looking in the sky and saying, God, why you do me this way? God's tired. He's busy. He don't want to deal with your shit. He don't have no time. He gave you what you needed to do. You knew it wasn't right, and you still did that. Women, tighten these circles up. Men, tighten the circles up. We all got to just tighten up.
I just want to give respect where respect is due.
No, man.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking on behalf of the people, bro. It's appreciated. And all joking aside, these conversations need to be had.
They do. They're important.
These conversations, even though we may be bouncing back and forth, joking, like, this is a very serious situation.
It's a fact.
And these conversations need to be had. There needs to be where people can remove the ego. Like, can we have just a phase where it's like, okay, we're going to be able to tell all the criticism without people taking it personal. We're going to be able to really evaluate this thing without people taking it personal. This is the things that you need to do. These are the things that I need to do. Give me some, and benevolent leadership. Benevolent leadership. Because I saw critical thinking right earlier that, yeah, you should also take into account, what a woman's opinion is. I think men are fine with that. I think men are fine with that. I think most of the time, I don't even want to make certain decisions. I don't think men, this is a man issue. The issue that's on the man are when we start to pander and not step up in ways that Samira said that she sometimes need a man to step up.
I just read that. That's an excellent comment.
That's our problem. That's where the men are falling short. In my opinion, the women are falling short in the other areas because you're getting finessed into playing a role that you're not designed to play. Like you're the player on the team. You ever have a peewee kid? They trying to put your kid on the line. No, my kid is a running back. Stop trying to have my kid block on the line. That's not what my kid is built for. You know what I'm saying? We keep finding it acceptable because it benefits other people to cause chaos in a lot of our relationships to play out of position. That's what we're playing out of position. So it's the fathers, it's the mothers as well, because the mothers need to be real with their daughters as well. The mothers know what's out here. The mothers know very quickly what's a good man, or let me say this, they know what a bad man is. They know what they went through with their father. And to be 100% real with y'all, women have no idea how to pick men. So if you get lucky, then you should be very appreciative, because you have absolutely no idea how to choose a man. And going to your point earlier with BK, men need to play a role in that, in helping their daughter pick men. Absolutely. It's like, it used to be like the man is in the household. So a daughter grows up seeing how their father behaves, seeing how how the mother behaves with the father in the household, because that's the dynamic that a lot of women don't grow up seeing. So now women are not growing up with the father in the household where they can learn from seeing the father move. And because the father's not in the household, they feel like they can't bring that level of accountability to the daughter. So what do? They try to buy them things. They do the love bombing. It's all love bombing because it's all temporary. So it's like, I'll buy you these things rather than tell you about yourself. No, tell her about herself. It's going to be worth a lot more than whatever it is that you think you could buy for her that's going to make her happy in that moment. Mm-hmm. So you have these fathers that are not there. The mothers are not keeping it real with their daughters. The mothers are raising their daughters to be independent while raising their boys to be little boys. You know what I'm saying? The dynamics are just completely off. And we see the results. It's all just result based. Like if we were having better results and making these complaints, then I would say, yo, write off what we're saying. Just completely disregard it. But look at the results of it. We're sitting here telling y'all it's impossible. It's impossible to have a relationship. You know what I've noticed? Where are the most tell me if this is your experience. The women that I see that are most ready to have a relationship with a guy, a strong guy, are the ones that already had a couple kids. Perhaps they were married, it didn't work. They had to learn from all of these things. They had to learn on their own because they didn't grow up seeing it. They didn't see it in the household. So I talked to a whole lot of women that maybe married once, maybe married twice, already got kids. And their mindset is completely different than the women that haven't been married and don't have kids. The women that haven't been married and don't have kids, they have this overestimated value of themselves, to where they haven't been humbled in certain ways, to where they realize, like, no, this is your value. like you think that you deserve this, but no, this is your value. This is how you're supposed to move in a relationship. They haven't gone through it, so they have to learn on their own. Why do we have to learn everything on our own? If people have to learn everything on their own, relationships are the toughest things that we're going to do in this world. Working with another person to accomplish a goal that you live with, that you're having kids with, that you have a family, there is nothing harder than that, at least from my perspective. So now the hardest thing that we have to do in life, we have no training. We've never seen it before. It's like, go play in the NBA, but we're never going to allow you to pick up a basketball. We're never even going to allow you to see the sport before you actually have to go play. Yeah. That's what we see is happening. Then when you see then when let's say you're in a relationship with a guy who he's trying to figure it out, maybe he had a father in his household. Maybe he saw certain aspects of how things work pertaining to the dynamics between men and women. Instead of the woman getting on board with what that man is pushing, she'll revert right back to the way that either her mother acts or the way that her father told her that she was a princess and that she's perfect the way that she is. All of these different things. It's to the point where, I'll be real, I wasn't even going to say this because I don't want it to come across as personal. It's really not. It's to the point now where I'm not going, like, should I have to go talk to your father about taking your hand in marriage? Why am I going to talk to your father?
I ain't off none of that.
Why am I talking to your father? What did your father do? Your father, all he did was create problems that now I got to fix and go through hell to fix. What am I asking for his hand? I raised your ass.
You sound like Young Thug. I made Gunna.
Well, I mean, if the shoe fits, I'm not to each their own. I'm not talking about one specific relationship. So don't personalize it.
Nah, you ain't see that clip when Gunna was interviewed. Exactly what you talking about. He was like, I made Gunna. He was like, well, I mean, I helped.
Yeah, I helped. Yeah, God made him, but I helped.
God made him, but I helped.
It's like, yo, why am I? Fathers don't even deserve to be getting asked for your hand.
I'm not off none of that.
And nowadays, you go talk to a father, the father's damn near telling the daughters, like, I don't really believe in. I don't know about marriage. I don't know. That's like, damn, the hardest thing. I'm trying to get your daughter to commit to the hardest thing ever. There's nothing harder that they're going to do in life, but they got everybody that they love and care and has told them that they're perfect their entire life. Are they even pushing it? You talked about a village mentality before. There needs to be a village push for this. There needs to be a more of an appreciation. If you got a good dude, this is the rule moving forward. If I treat you better than your father treated your mother and your grandfather treated your grandmother, you should worship the ground that I walk on.
Oh, shit.
What's wrong with that? Am I bugging? Tell me if I'm bugging. Correct me right now.
Let us know in the comments how y'all feel about his comment.
If your man treats you better and represents a better leader, I don't even got to put any context to it because you saw what I was about to do. I'm not putting any. If your man treats you better than your father treated your mother, and your granddaddy that you love so much treated your grandmother, you should worship the ground. That should be the foundation. Now that should be the grace that's given up front, perhaps, or not up front, that's earned through time. That's my stance. That's my stance.
Finn said, nah, we still hold some traditions this side of the pond. Finn, you could be right on that side of the pond. On this side, nah, we need help on the Finn, you've heard of the Western women, the Western complex. We got to address it. It's got to be changed. Tradition is keeping us in the past over here. We ain't off none of that.
America, what is 250 years old? It's going to get to the point where tradition is no longer tradition. Like the tradition is going to be changing to what we're complaining about now. As the generations continue to repeat themselves, this is going to be the norm. This is going to be the culture, the westernized culture that a lot of us talk about.
Nah, you gotta be able to I ain't off none of that. If your pops ain't on his shit, bruh,
get out the way.
I'm checking them.
Get out the way.
I'm checking them. I'm checking all fathers. If you didn't do your job, I'm holding you accountable.
And why does it and going back to my point, because I breathed a couple times. I did my box breathing. Why should it not be natural? Like, why it shouldn't have to be, oh, you worship the ground that they walk on. It really shouldn't have to be that. But why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't it be natural? Why wouldn't you have such an appreciation, knowing what your mama went through, knowing what your grandmama went through? Why would you not have such an appreciation? It's to the point now where I feel like men want to have families and get married more than women. Like there's more of an urgency, especially when you have a purposeful person that understands, hey, this is an important part of this path. This is part of what I'm creating. This is an important aspect of it.
Well, look, I don't even agree with why women want children to begin with.
Are you reading a comment or is that your statement?
This is my statement.
Oh, please elaborate. Please elaborate. I didn't know whether you out here. Go ahead.
Just when I see certain things that are said about, the other gender, and they'll say very narcissistic comments like, oh, I'm ready to have a kid, or I'm so ready to have a kid, or I'm ready to have a family. And I just think that's just such a selfish way to think that's how you approach life. Like it's just something that you input the data and you get what you want out of it. And I think when you don't have purpose, you get caught up in those things being your prioritization. And so when women don't have purpose to begin with, they all of a sudden now start saying very selfish things like, okay, now I'm ready to have a child. Well, like that, it don't work like that. You don't just get the child today because you want one today, or I'm ready to settle down now. Like, nigga, you got to be prepared to get this stuff. You have to put work in to have a family. You got to put work in to have children. The same way a man looks at it. We have to prepare. We don't just be wanting kids. We be scared to have kids because we scared we can't provide for them. How the hell did you you're not even responsible for that. How the hell did you come up with, I'm ready to have them, and we sitting here shook as hell to have them? It makes me feel like we're not having them for the right reason, so we already are not in alignment. And what's being perpetuated makes it so difficult for men because for the men that I'm around, so I'm not going to say all men, but for the men that I'm around, when we're speaking about these topics, we take these very passionately because being fathers, being in the household, being good men, standing on purpose, standing on principles is very important to us. So it's just like we are 30s still talking about some, I got to get my shit straight. Like, I don't want my kids, one of these kids crashing out, or I don't want my kids, one of these kids that have depression, they're not happy, or I don't want to have to be at work all day because I got to provide. I want to be here with my kids. Like, when you have all that in play, you like, nah, like I got to work a little harder. But when I'm hearing women say, I'm not hearing women say I need to work a little harder to get my family. I'm not hearing that disposition. That also, it makes me feel like, damn, do you really want a family, or do you want like the look of it?
The Instagram.
Are we fulfilling some type of thing that like, oh, you can go talk, like, nah, like men are good men, and I'm always emphasize that good men are scared of moving too quickly in those spaces because they understand who will be compromised will be the child, the last name, the legacy. That is a huge fear for good men. So we don't rush into these things. We don't rush into relationships, not because we want 7 bitches. It's because we're scared if we pick the wrong one, it'll ruin everything we've worked towards. So it's very important that we take our time, drag our feet. That's why you find good men at older age. Like with men, as time continues, they get older, they get wiser, they get smarter, they get more disciplined, they're more in control and stable of their emotions. This is why it's very important that these men continue to do those things. But look at the ages where you're hearing these type of conversations from men. It's later on. So it's just like, we have to understand, like, are you constantly working on yourself the same way? If you're a man, if you have not found your man yet, I just want you to know, if you align with a good man, he is still working on himself today. My issue is that I'm not hearing that conversation of self-talk to the women. So does the women that I'm going to potentially align with, is she, wherever she's at, saying these things to herself like I'm saying them to me? I am unselfishly saying I need to become the best version of myself for others. I need the co-pilot on the same type of time. If they're not saying those things independent from me, then what makes you think they're going to say when they with me? So do they respect the position I play? Do they respect the role? Maybe that's why that's why you won't get the respect from them. Because they don't understand that role in that position until it's time for them to do it themselves. Then they get tired. Then they get, oh, this ain't for me. I don't want to work. Nah, you don't get that option. No man can ever say, I don't want to work no more. No man get to say, I don't want to protect no more. Those aren't men. It's a whole lifetime of work. There ain't no flow into the sunset shit. It's work forever, so the people that I care about, they can do their thing and relax. So it's my job to roll out the red carpet for somebody who's gonna make a sacrifice like that, I would think. I mean, shit, the boss get it. He ain't made no sacrifice, and he can call you, text you, tell you what to do, and you jump up. Yes, man. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Where
was that? Where was all that attitude towards me? All I'm doing is trying to make life amazing for us.
Yeah. So
where was all that attitude? Where was all that? Yeah,
We had a couple super chats from Paul. Did you see those?
The Paul one. Hold
Yeah.
on. Try to scroll up for Paul. Oh, wait. This is Paul.
Yeah, that's it.
Wasn't
highlight.
there another one? There was another one from Paul.
Yeah, I think he dropped 2. Shout out to you,
All
Paul
right.
Frolic.
Shout out to Paul. Benevolent leadership is right. Men are the head of the household in the Bible, but the responsibility is to lay down their life for their family. That's the thing, yo. If you got, you be having dudes that'll die for you, that'll risk everything,
Crash out
for you, and you still don't get it. Like you just still don't get it.
Yeah, willing to spin, but you still ain't gonna listen. Oh, all right, okay.
Let me try to find this other. Where's Paul? Definitely said something else. Was it that early?
He did. Paul had. I think he was.
It was a while ago. My fault. Hold on. We're gonna find this. All right, I got it. Apologies first and foremost, Paul, for not recognizing this when you first sent it. But I think it's funny how it's still relevant to the conversation right now. So Paul wrote, to your point, so many kids are fat and unhealthy. No dad at home, so mom works. Mom is tired. Understandably, she picks up McDonald's on the way home. Game, set, match. It's just a cycle.
It's a cycle.
This stuff is a cycle. All this stuff is a cycle. Honestly, the more that we're talking about this, it's impossible for women. I feel bad for women. I really do. I feel very bad for women. That's why I get upset at the fathers. That's why I get upset at the mothers, the aunties. Why y'all not giving these young girls the game? Why are you not teaching them? Why are you scared that they're going to take something that now that you're getting older and your options have shrunk? Now you scared to give the game to the younger girls? Is that what's happening? Because I don't get it. You going through life clearly not happy, miserable.
That be the one.
Yeah, you're getting treated terribly by guys.
You're not happy.
Yeah.
You won't even teach your child to be happy.
And instead, you telling the young women in your life, oh, your body count don't matter. If a guy cares about that, then he's just insecure. Bet. Okay. Okay. If that's what you need to feel good about yourself for opening your legs to John or whoever else, then you cool. How did that work for your mother?
Oh,
how did that work for your auntie? How did that work for your homegirls? It simply doesn't work. So why can't we do better? Why can't we figure out a different situation? Why can't we figure? It's like for a woman, how are you supposed to even learn how to be a wife if society's teaching you to be a whore?
A man.
If you're black, it's even worse. Society teaching you to be the whore and to trying to convert you to be a man. It's like so you're a man. Oh, I guess you're not a whore because men ain't. That's just what we do, right? That's that in order to justify you being able to have sex with whoever it is that you want to have sex with. Your fathers are being your best friends. They're not teaching you what they would want in a woman. Moms are still confused. You don't want to be like grandma. You're looking at grandma and you're like, no, granddad treated grandma bad, so I don't want to be like. How are you supposed to learn? Who are you going to learn from? We gotta build the plane as we fly. Like literally, the best person that you can learn from is me. It's whoever you're in a relationship with.
I am him.
It's the best you got, baby. Like I'm the only one that's going to be honest with you. Like I'm the only one that's going to say the things that may hurt your feelings. And the only reason they hurt your feelings is because you've never had somebody tell you like, oh, no, this is how you do this. No, this is how, oh, no, you can't just do what you want when you want to do it. Oh, no, this is your duty. This is your role. You can't just show up to practice and play hard when you want to. And then when you're not, expect to still get the. No, that's not how this works. This is a performance-based business.
If you don't perform, you get the hell out.
Weddings are marriage is a performance-based business. The same way that I got to make sure that I'm holding down my shit.
Mm-hmm. And look, here, let's go a little bit further with that. I like what Steve said too. The family drama of the past ends with me. That's what men do. They stop that shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
Putting my foot down.
I'm not off none of that. I'm not off none of that. All that shit got to go. But then also you got to hold people accountable in the space of, look, moms, when your daughter is here you go.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, 'cause I'm like,
I'm writing down stuff. I'm taking.
Okay, moms, fathers, when your children are at a certain age, you should start questioning why they have reached this specific age and they're not in an established situation of marriage if that is her goal. The conversation can be calm, it will be real, it will be uncomfortable, but I think it's very important that you have a question of what can we do to help you align with the right possible candidate, as well as put you in a position of success and happiness. If you want family, if you want children, if you want all these things, as a father and as your mother, we take full responsibility for you not being able to accomplish that at the age in which you feel like you needed. So we are here to help assist. Now, we know we didn't teach you how to boil a pot of water. We know we didn't teach you how to necessarily take care of yourself physically and work out. We know we didn't teach you how to speak about your emotions in a very cool, calm, and collective way. We know we did not teach you how to vet the proper men. We let your past traumas be your dictators and your teachers. And so now we as parents have failed you, my daughter, because we did not prepare you to go be with the elite, to be with the top men, the leaders. And now look, now you have a kid with an ain't shit nigga, and that's our fault. We take accountability for that, because that means I didn't teach you how to vet the niggas you was with. Everybody got a place to take some accountability, bro. So parents, if your kid's at an age where you feel like they're not married, then what the fuck did you do? You clearly missed some questions that weren't answered, and now they fighting tooth and nail. They fighting the clock, they fighting time, they fighting pressure, and you left them. You left their asses all alone to figure this shit out. I know y'all can't see me. I'm about to change the battery, but y'all left this shit out, and you left them. Now they fucking treading water, not knowing what direction to go, thinking that their career is going to make them happier when it's not. You know what will make your child happier. You just don't have the fucking answer. And you're not confident to give them one either, because you're not willing to be held accountable for giving them the wrong way. But not giving them an answer to begin with was the first mistake, because you showed them how to accept being a coward. So now they're left to figure out how the fuck I'm supposed to continue the lineage of this shit on my fucking own, when the two people I trusted the most, that have been around me the longest, have turned a blind eye and a blind cheek to helping me find and continue to my life moving forward. No wonder she got trust issues. The only two people she should have trusted left her to fend for her fucking self. Parents, you're held accountable. Yo, look at this nigga.
I'm blown away, bro.
Yo, I'm in my bag, yo. Stop playing.
Yo, I'm gonna just let you cook, bro. You made BK getting all the super chat money on this one. I may keep one, but BK getting the majority. You earned the super chats on this show, right? If I may, I actually would like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You said that it's dangerous for, like, just like how you give a 17-year-old, like, you don't just give a 17-year-old millions of dollars.
That's hard money, yeah.
Right, because it could be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
My question is it just as dangerous to give a mature woman who's not 20, but in her 30s, maybe in her 40s, is it just as dangerous as it is to give a 17-year-old money to give a woman in her 30s and 40s money to where she can live on her own, to where she doesn't need a man, to where she can be independent, to where she is successful, to where she is growing, and as we all grow, we become a little bit less willing to compromise. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Women who have become successful and have figured out that they can live on their own, that's been the carrot that they dangle in front of them. It's no different than the social programs. It's no different than the social programs incentivizing the women to not have men in the household. You get these women, now they can take themselves on vacations. They go on their girls' trips. Now at 35, 40 years old, it's almost like the kid how we talk about men who never really got to experience getting girls in high school or college, or like a lot of these doctors, because they're just in school. Then they get to the money, they get to the bag, they get a certain amount of prestige. Now they want to go in their 30s, 40s, 50s, relive a lot of the things that they feel that they missed out on. It's very hard to convince a woman who's got her own crib, got her own money, goes on her own vacations, to then say, we know you're independent and life is amazing and nobody holds you accountable and you do everything that you want. Now you have to enter this relationship, which is going to be the toughest thing that you'll ever have to do in this world. And you're going to have to compromise with a man. And matter of fact, you're going to have to allow that man to lead.
It's tough. It's tough because more times than not, you know which route they're going to lean on. That freedom sounds good, but it just don't make, it's not going to make you happy. The key X factor in everything you're saying is when we use the term men, that's not used loosely. Men are the things that we said that men are. So it doesn't mean just because that's a man, we're including them in conversation.
A male.
A male. These are for the quality men that you guys should be procreating with. These are the things that you have to think of. It is this deep. You may say it's this deep. It really gets this deep. So I think it's at 30, it's like, yeah, I think it's, I won't say it's dangerous because I think it puts it in a space where we're ignoring the lack of discipline that they have at that age. That even with the age, you still are not understanding what's important. So
they have more discipline.
Yes. So now we're having to make the decision and be like, well, you shouldn't have these type of accessibilities, freedom of this money, because we know you just gonna spend when you get it. Like,
you think women have more discipline as they get older?
No, what I'm saying is it's because they don't have the discipline. When you're asking that question at 30, is it dangerous to give them that bread at 30? It's like, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, but it is, because we know if they're able to do all these things and not be accountable, et cetera, they're going to choose that over getting on with somebody program every time. They like that freedom. They want to be outside. They want to go travel when they want to do all that stuff.
I think they're less disciplined.
As they get older?
Yeah, you're not under somebody else's roof. Mm-hmm. You don't have to go to school. You know what I mean? You're not treated the same. You're actually going out there making money. Look at how they incentivize. Look at how the liberals want to treat and elevate Black women and convince them that they're the most unprotected. They're victims. They deserve everything. Black women can criticize anybody and nobody can criticize Black women. They have less accountability. So in my opinion, less accountability also creates less discipline in a lot of ways. They don't have the discipline. Mm-hmm. They don't have the structure. Who gonna check me, boo? That's the energy. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So now you have somebody who's less disciplined, it's like, I think I don't want to ever take away from the purpose of these conversations. I feel bad. I'm pissed off myself. I'm pissed off about this stuff because it impacts us all. Talk to any man that's willing to be honest with you and ask them if they're experiencing the same things. So now at 35, 40, where you're bored because you went to work all day, like literally your cycle is wake up, go to work, dread it, but then I'm going to go have drinks with the girls. I'm setting up my schedule here. I got this going on. Oh, I'm going to go do that. Oh, I'm going to go do this. And it seems like you have all the time and the money to do it. But in all actuality, none of the things that you're doing are purpose-based. They're all to have fun. Like, damn, have a family, have some kids, contribute to society, do something. But if we're not having families, and now you got the money, you got all this other stuff, it's like a guy out here that has no purpose but just has money.
Yeah, you begin to start hearing the coping comments like, oh, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like there's not an incentiveness to want to become better because it's not being pulled by purpose. I like what Samira said again. Samira Sutton, shout out to you for this comment. There are a lot of mothers out there that have had that I am woman, hear me roar mentality, and are now jealous of their daughters who chose an easier and softer life. So now the teacher who is to teach these women how to obtain that missed her shot, like you said, and now you don't want to give the game up, or we sense resentment, we sense jealousy, we sense ego, we sense pettiness, because your daughter is in a position now where she might have unlocked that code. She figured out I ain't on no roar shit. That ain't my energy. I'm a vet my men accordingly. I'm going to hold myself to a high regard. I'm not looking to sleep with everyone. I'm taking people through checks and balances. And if somebody makes it out on the other end, I'm ready to move forward with them. And when I earn that spot of a exclusive relationship, you're not going to catch me fumbling that. I'm going to roll right into the position like a man with purpose would need me to be, to help assist and alleviate. That's what should be the play. I'm not looking to do what women do, and I would hope women ain't looking to do what I can do. But when we are constantly threading the line, we're bobbing and weaving, and we start moving into roles that we shouldn't roll into. Men ain't being men, got the women acting like one, and the women ain't being women in that, got the man acting like one. And now we get into a space here where it's counterproductive. It's not moving forward. And now these relationships ain't able to exist and work. We have to understand that. So shout out to you, Samira. That was a good comment.
I mean, well, Samira, please, did I misgaze that? Samira, please leave your email. I'm gonna pass it off to BK.
I knew you was gonna have that energy. I knew that's what
you felt it, right?
I knew that's what you're going.
Should I not have said it? Should I not?
These people they ain't got time for you this morning.
Bro, I want relationships.
You got this Friday special going.
I want people. I want to be able to. I need my friends having relationships so I can hang out.
You got this Black Friday special going on.
Come on, man. I'm trying. Samira said 40 years old this year, still never married, wasted my 20s and part of my 30s, the wrong person, and now don't even know how to act. But is willing, I believe you said earlier, you're looking for somebody that is willing to not, I think you used the word STF, like just to give some guidance. Look, so that's all. It's limited out here. There are limited resources, supply and demand. Like, I mean, she wrote LOL. You put it on the screen. I didn't put that on the screen. You put that on the screen.
He's trying to fire up, man. What's Steve? Steve got a good one here. The combined wisdom between the speakers and the chat is truly uplifting and helps me maintain hope for humanity. That's what I'm saying. We can't do this.
We're still gonna win. We're still gonna win.
We're gonna win. And this makes it so much easier when we got these people in the comments knowing. See, this is why we didn't give up on humanity. We didn't give up. We just got to get louder than the people that are inhumane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
We didn't give up on humanity. We just got to be louder than the people that are inhumane. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Glenn. I like that, Glenn.
We ain't throwing in no towels. We here to stand on business. This is David and Goliath all day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we own, bro. That's what we own. We're not playing none of that. I'm not doing no tradition if it don't make no sense. I ain't kissing no toes. I ain't begging nobody. Come prepared. Come equipped. Come with your best product. Come with your resume,
Samira.
And if the resume light, that's all I got, man. And be the change, like Steve said. Be the change.
Be the change. That's all we got. So, we didn't even get through that video. We didn't even get through Dave Rubin. All right, well. It is what it is. We'll pick that
up. We're on for tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow it's
the day.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, let's do tomorrow. I may have to adjust Friday's time.
Okay.
So just a heads up for everybody. I'm being forced. Never mind.
See.
I'm about to make a bad joke. I'm about to make a bad joke. Box breathing, yeah, box breathing. But no, all joking aside, we may have to just move the Friday a little bit later. You know, maybe give people an opportunity to sleep in because I may have to drive down to I may. No, I'm probably gonna be driving down to Maryland. So,
oh, okay. We got a crab. Get you some Maryland crab for Thanksgiving.
Nah, I'm about to go back to meat and seafood. I think next month, maybe.
Oh,
Not.
if y'all don't know, chat, he's a vegan. I don't even know.
I'm not a vegan. First off, I don't belong to any gang, so don't be putting me in no gang. Like I'm not a part of no gang. And they take that vegan stuff. Nah, I just haven't had meat, fish, or eggs, but I still eat eggs and certain stuff. But yeah, it's been like it'll be 6 years next month, so I'm probably gonna go back.
Oh man, well, me and Unc gonna be tapping into that brisket. Fuck out of here with all that.
Yeah, I see that. Yo, all right, yo, get on to the breathing, man. Yo, box breathing. BK, you leading it this time?
Nah, I don't know it.
I don't know it. So box breathing, like no coach. No, you're not throwing me in there.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're gonna have
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. All right. So we got our most important part of the show. Please like, help boost the algorithm so that way people can tune into the most important part of the show. Don't leave. We need y'all locked in on this because it's important. A lot of times we don't, take some time for ourselves to just be still, get our breath work in, manifest, meditate. It's important. So let's do that now. We're going to do our box breathing style that we were taught by our big bro, Steve, which is going to be a 4-second inhale. Inhaling all the positive energy, making sure that we're actually feeling with every breath is feeling that positive energy enter our system, empowering energy. Then we're going to do a 4-second hold. After that 4-second hold, we got a 4-second exhale, which just like we felt the energy, the positive energy coming in, we're going to feel the negative energy. We're going to get that out of our system. And then after the exhale, we're going to do a 4-second hold and repeat that cycle 4 times. So if you are in a safe place, close your eyes if you feel obliged to. If not, then do whatever suits you best. I'm going to be closing my eyes and BK, you a fool, bro. Yo. All right, we're going to start the inhale. 4-second inhale. 4-second inhale. Ready? Begin. Hold. Four-second exhale. Release the negative. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Release. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Release. Hold. All right, on this next inhale, make sure that we really get a lot of that positive energy entering our system. Ready, begin. Hold. And on this last exhale, release the rest of that negative energy. Release it. Go. Hold. All right. All right. It really does do something to you, that breathing.
Yeah.
Like it really does. The more I take it seriously, the more I realize, like, yeah, that just, yeah. Whew. Y'all know what we come here to do. Elevate on purpose. Becoming the best leaders. And in order to do so, we got to raise our standards, challenge ourselves to raise our standards, to become the best leaders we can become, that, as you can tell by this conversation, that are needed now more than ever, as well as challenging ourselves to become the best followers. And really, it's all leading. even if you're following, you're still leading. Lead in your role, and whatever your role is, excel in that role. Right? Be the leader in that role. You don't have to necessarily look at it like you're following something, because really all you're following is the purpose. You're following the principles, the morals across the board in all these areas. And you're just aligning yourself with people that are aligned with the same things that you are. So we're going to challenge ourselves in that way. We're going to challenge ourselves to become the best versions of ourselves, to maximize our potential. Like, why not? Isn't that the best way to show our regard and to show our respect and gratitude for the Most High? You feel me? Like, let's become the best versions of ourselves. Strength and honor, onward and upward. Get to that bag. For those that don't know what I mean when I say get to the bag, all the quote unquote little things that are going to ultimately add up, the things that we do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, that are ultimately going to add up to what our impact on this world is going to be, that we like to call our personal legend. Let's make sure that we're on the most efficient trajectory while we're living in our purpose and striving for purposeful abundance. Let's make sure that we're doing it as efficiently as possible, because time is our most limited commodity. The things that are in my bag: peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. And of course, we got to add that balance. So for all y'all, figure out what you want to be your legend, what you want to be your personal legend, the impact, and then back into it, create a plan in order to execute. That's all y'all got from me. BK, you want to carry us out? You want to check? I don't know if anybody wrote some words of wisdom at the end. I think you on mute. You may be on mute. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's go. I saw Iceberg with the fire emojis.
Nah, that's always last. That's last.
Oh, okay. No, I think we caught up. We're pretty caught up with everything. Steve said, "Give BK the ball."
Give BK the rock.
If I was fumbling, Steve.
Hold on. We got some. I think we got something. All right, yeah, we got a couple. So shout out to Robert. Robert said, "Everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I got a whole bunch of food to prep for tomorrow." Yeah, have an amazing Thanksgiving. And I know a lot of people celebrate on Wednesdays. A lot of drinking going on. I think this is the biggest day for drinking.
Biggest night, yeah.
So let's just make sure that we're being safe. We're being smart. Take the Uber. Take the Lyft. Have a designated driver. Matter of fact, don't even have a designated driver. Hire a driver. Feed the economy. All right, feed the economy tonight. Pay somebody to drive you. Carpool, do whatever it is that you need to just be safe. And let's not make any silly decisions that we're going to regret.
Yeah, we don't want to hear no stories in the chat on Friday, y'all.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Man, y'all know what it is. Y'all know how we feel about y'all. You know how much we appreciate y'all continuing to rock with us. So on that note, as we always finish, Quee sent the fire emojis, and we shall see y'all soon.
Peace.